why every day is easier than taking rest days. So one of the things that often gets brought up is, oh, you need to take a rest, man. You need to take days off. What about downtime? What about, time with your family? Don't you want to do fun things? I always find this a fascinating topic. First off, well, I like training. I like pushing my body. I like working hard. I like the effort. I like the feeling it gives me. I like how it shapes my day and, sets me up to be in the right headspace. More than anything, I think a lot of the things that people miss on this is working out, exercise, all these kinds of things is as much for the mental as it is for the physical. That side of things does more for my life mentally than it is physically. And to be perfectly frank, I exercise every single day for my headspace, not for the physical capacity. I have to go battle demons. And I think if you can wrap your head around it, battling demons, getting it all out, getting that dopamine rush, all that kind of stuff will do way more for your psychology, your life, and everything else than anything else you could do. There's a reason why, when we get our headspace right, that exercise is one of the most profound things that you could do for your life. Because, it fucking matters. But, as I said, that's my mentality. And I look forward to the workout. I look forward to exercise. I look forward to the sweat and the challenge and the pushing forward. It's not a chore. And more than anything, that's by design. People are like, oh, I wish I could be like you. I wish I could have that mentality. I was like, I just chose it. I always find this a fascinating one because people are like, oh, I wish I could have that mindset around things. Here's a secret, guys. You get to choose what you believe. You get to choose what you think. You get to choose how you respond and feel to every single situation. It's not going to happen instantaneously. It's not going to happen overnight. But here's the shocking truth of it all. You are in control. So, you want to make your life easier? You want to make things better? Start actively choosing how you feel about things. Go, oh, I like this. Oh, I look forward to this. Oh, that was really great. It seems like silly psychology, but there's some serious backing to this. Even down to things of how you start your day. Oh, today is going to be a great fucking day. Today is going to kick ass and take names. I'm going to feel amazing about it. And lo and behold, it's a great day. Because, 90% of our life is perception. It's only 10% what happens to us. So if you choose going into it that, I've got to work out again today. I hate this. I can't wait till the weekend so I can have some rest. Oh, lo and behold, eventually you get sick of that shit and you stop doing it. Lo and behold, you're always hanging out for the weekend and the sedation and the days off and all that kind of stuff. Or you can shift your thinking about it and go, fuck yeah, another chance to get better, another opportunity to do great work, another chance to improve myself, another chance to battle against the demons in my head. Suddenly things show up differently. Suddenly you show up differently. Suddenly you respond to those things differently. This is how you shift the mindset, and this is how you build that into it. But it came up today at the gym in the workouts, and they're like, well, what about holidays? Because I'm about to go away for 4 days. I'm like, well, I take a weight vest and a kettlebell. They're like, on holiday to load up on the car. And I'm like, yep. Why would you do that? Because I like it. Because it makes me feel good. Because I made a decision a long ass fucking time ago, 500 plus days ago, that I was that guy. That's who I was going to be. That I was going to show up every single day and do it. The decision was made. And I've spoken about this before. Discipline is fucking freedom. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to question it. I don't need to ask the question of if I feel like it today. No, it's what I do every single day. Period. Full stop. End of story. This is who I am. So I don't need to ask the questions. I don't need to find out if I've got what it takes. No, I just do it. Because I already made the decision. And I made the decision when the motivation was high, when I was at my peak, when I felt like doing it. Therefore, it is now done. So yeah, I'm going to take my kettlebell. Yeah, I'm going to take my weight vest. I'm going to get my weighted walks in. I'm going to do my workouts. Why? Because I said I was going to do it. Therefore, it is done. This is part of being a man of your word. This is part of building the discipline. This is part of being that guy. But it also makes it simpler. And my kids know this. My wife knows this. People around me know that this is who I am. And I lead by example. And they expect it of me. That's just what Dad does. That's just what he does. And so I just make it a reality. But we're talking about that in terms of, the difficulty of it. See, one missed day is a mistake. 2 missed days is the start of a new habit. And yet, what does everyone do every single week? They take 2 days off for the weekend, at least, if not more. You're having 2 rest days, and then you wonder why it's a fucking slog on Monday. Well, because you took 2 days off. Because you started building a new habit. And in shocking turn of events, you are more inclined towards habits that are comfortable. You are more inclined towards habits that are easy. So the rest days, the days off, the days where you just don't do the work are easier and more inclined to be ingrained into you than the days that you do the work. Than the days that you work out every single day, like you do that every day. Because even though I have trained myself to love it, there are still days where I'm tired, where that resistance, where all those kinds of things is screaming at me to take a day off. There are still those days where everything around me is telling me to take it easy, to take it restful. And I have to override that. Now, if I start establishing that, there's a new habit and I get to take a break, or I don't have to do it today, or, chuck up valid excuse, like going on holidays, like being away, like these kinds of things, like special events, all this kind of stuff, I'm training my brain that there are days where it's okay not to. There are days where the excuses are valid. And people say that that's really harsh. And I'm like, well, maybe. Or maybe you're just really soft. Maybe you want the excuses. Maybe you want the reasons to avoid the work. Maybe it's easier for you to find the ways round. I'd rather just have it that this is who I am and this is what I'm doing. It's simpler. There's less thought process in it. It's the height of discipline is freedom, because then I don't have to question it. I don't have to run through the gauntlet in my head and work out whether today is a good day to do this or not. It just is. And I think that's a big, big separator for a lot of people. And if you can find the ability to build it into just who you are, you'll find it simpler. As I said, most people struggle on Mondays. Monday-itis, don't feel like it today, don't really want to do it. There's all this stuff going on. If you just do it every single day, Well, you don't get Monday-itis because you just do it every single day. You never have to question. There is no deviation between today and tomorrow and the next day and that. It just is. It just is. And that's a very different game to play than constantly asking, what will today bring? What am I going to do about today? Those are different questions and harder ones. And it's like, the last 4 days, we spoke about it. Making it as simple as possible. This is the simplest way to do it. This is the easiest way to do it. People don't view it that way. They look at it as extreme discipline. They look at it as, that's not normal. I'm aware it's not normal. It doesn't mean that it's not better. I'm aware that it is not what people think is the standard. But I think you'll find it easier. I think you'll find it simpler. I think you'll find, once you establish it, and emphasis on once you establish it, everything else will get easier. Because it is a simpler process. It is a simpler walkthrough. It is a simpler way to build it out. Because you don't have to question it. You don't have to ask whether it is. You just do the work. And I think when it comes to achieving great results, and that's why I gave you those 4 days, you want to find the simplest answer. You want to find the simplest way to do it. You want to find the least barriers to entry. And despite it being such a massive uptick in effort and work, when you don't have to think about it, when you don't have to question if today's the work day, whether you have it in you, whether you want to do the work or not, it just gets done. Well, it is simpler. It is easier. And you'll find yourself falling into this rhythm where you just get up and do it. It's just who you are. And when you can define yourself as, this is who I am and this is what I do, everything in your life will get simpler. This is why I talk about this being, you have to redefine who you are. You can't go, I'm going to do this for this period of time and then I'm going to stop. Because if that's the viewpoint on it, if that's how you view it, you are going to struggle. And even if you don't struggle and you nail it and you crush it and you do an exceptional job, you will rebound at some point. Why? Because you didn't change who you were fundamentally. And so at some point, you will return back to your homeostasis. You'll return back to your set point and go, this is who I am. I am a man who doesn't do the work. I'm a man who finds excuses. I'm a man who seeks sedation, an easy way out. Or you could do the hard shit. Or you could find a better way to do it. And you could choose to do the work. And you could choose to dive in. And you could choose to redefine who you are. And go, I am a man who gets shit done. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man who follows through, no matter what. And when you build that discipline in your health and fitness, lo and behold, it starts to filter into every other area and every other aspect. You build that into your identity, and everything in your life gets better. And that's why I believe that you should demand greatness. It's why I believe that it will change your life. Because if you start demanding more of yourself in this health and fitness, which also is the vehicle to everything else you want in this life, suddenly every area of your life gets better. Suddenly every area of your life starts to improve. And this is the separator. And this is something that will make a truly life-altering difference to your life. So, something to think about. Something to think about when demanding greatness. Something to think about that, honestly, despite what it appears to outward intentions, every single day is actually the easier option. And that's all I have for you. Keep demanding greatness, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.